Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It's your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and I'm super excited to be here because right now we're going to be talking about the targeted booster program that's going to be happening here in the United Kingdom. All right, now we know that we've heard all of the stories about the booster vaccines. We've talked about it in detail, and we've spoken about if booster vaccines are actually absolutely necessary at this point of time, given the fact that so many people around the world haven't been able to get the vaccine, and whereas here in the United Kingdom we're offering people a third dose of the vaccine, right? So it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but that is what we're talking about. All right, now we're going to be talking about the targeted booster program. However, before we head into that conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that you can in fact be a part of this show. All right, so don't forget to actually text me or call me on 078 share your thoughts, share your opinions, because I would love to hear everything that you have to say. All right, now something else that you can actually do is to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and actually subscribe to us on YouTube as well, because that way you can actually make sure that you're always informed and you're always updated about the very latest that happens, not just here in the United Kingdom, but in fact all over the world as well. All right. Now, another way you can stay in touch with the latest news, with the latest conversation happening on Relaks Radio is through our app, because that's available for free, completely for free on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store as well. Okay. So let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what your thoughts are. Just text me, call me on 078 or you can even comment what you want to talk about on our socials, right? Which is Facebook, which is YouTube, because I can definitely respond to them and I can share your thoughts and opinions with everyone as well. All right, so don't actually forget to do that. And now let's actually head into our conversation. And our conversation right now is about this targeted booster program. Right. So what exactly is this targeted booster program? How exactly does it work? Why is it working this way? Don't worry, because I'm here to answer all of those questions. So make sure to stay tuned to Relaks Radio and to the Sunrise with me, Sarah, because I'm here to make sure that I dispel all of your doubts and your uncertainties, and I answer all of your questions as well. At least the ones I know answers to. All right. That is what I'm going to be doing. Now, antibody tests are in fact going to be offered widely to the UK public as a part of this new program, which a leading scientist said could actually lead to targeted booster vaccinations for vulnerable people. All right. So essentially, how these antibody tests are going to work is that it's going to measure the level of antibodies that are there in your body. All right, and depending on your antibody levels, especially if you have really high antibody levels, then you're not going to need a booster vaccine, right? However, if you have really really low immunity, then obviously you'll have to share, or rather obviously then you'll have to get obviously then you'll have to get a booster vaccine. All right, so that is what the conversation is about. All right, now thousands of adults will actually receive these tests each day, and this is as part of a government scheme that explores how much natural protection people have after getting coronavirus. All right, now anyone over the age of 18 will actually be able to opt in from today when they're taking a PCR test, and this is with up to about 8,000 recipients already having 2 antibody tests sent to their home, especially if they test positive. All right, so if they test positive, they will basically have 2 antibody tests that are sent to their homes that will help them figure out how much of antibody levels are actually there in their body. Right now, on Sunday there were in fact let's actually very quickly talk about Sunday, because on Sunday there were about 32,253 positive cases. All right, and this was in fact recorded in the previous 24 hours, right? And the government actually said this because along with all of that came a further 49 deaths. Okay, now people will actually be sent a 2-finger prick antibody test to complete at home and essentially to send back for analysis. All right, now the first must be taken as soon as possible after the positive result, and the second must be taken 28 days later. So as soon as you test positive, you need to get that first test done, and 28 days after, you need to get that second test done. All right. So this is how these antibody tests are going to work, right? And this is, in their latest attempt to actually measure how much of antibody levels we have within our body, so that when they're giving boosters, when they're helping all of these people, when they're helping all of these people get get vaccinated. Right now, we actually have a comment that says, the Delta variant might actually, make things difficult for us in the fall. And yeah, I think so too. I completely agree to that, because the Delta variant is something that we haven't seen. I mean, the rate at which it spreads and how dangerous it is, it's something that we haven't encountered before, right? And it's absolutely scary as well, because it's like even vaccinated people have the same amount of virus levels in their body as unvaccinated people. Right. However, even though that's the case, and this is probably why they're planning to give the booster doses as well, in an attempt to actually make sure that people who have really low levels of antibodies will have better immunity, will have better protection when they are, when they're going out, and when they're, going about with their normal lives. All right. And now we're actually going to head into a small break, and after that, we will be back to discuss this more. But until then, make sure that you stay tuned, because I have so much more left to talk about with you.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies will ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, got me thinking. You want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out though so much, especially with these kind of shirts when you're riding? There must be a purpose behind it, right?
Well, when you say a purpose, Nick, what I do, I wear the shirts, and mainly one because they're nice and bright, so they make me visible, especially if I'm riding on the road.
Okay. That's very important, right? Because you want cars,
very important. And also, like, people see me in like calves, and perhaps I shouldn't be saying this on air, I suppose, but in the bar afterwards.
All right.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh, so that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies will ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, you look like a guy who would do.
You know me too well. You know me too well, Nick.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and I'm super excited to be here on this beautiful Tuesday morning. All right, let me know how your day is going. Let me know if you have any plans and what kind of plans you actually have to spend the rest of your day. All right, now I was telling my friend recently that it's so crazy how fast time is passing by, because it's literally like the end of August and it's like the 24th of August. So basically in 7 more days, if I definitely can be good at math. And basically about a week will actually be done with this month. So that is crazy. All right. So if you have any plans, if you have any, new things that you're going to try out, make sure to get in touch with me and share them with me, because I would love to hear everything that you have to say as well. All right. So make sure you get texting or calling on 078-524-73473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, because that is what I would love to do. All right. And something else that you can do is actually to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and actually make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. All right. Because that way you can actually make sure that you are finding the best content, and you're always keeping yourself entertained as well, along with all of these, along with all of the news, right? Because there's so many things that happen in the world, and with how busy we are, we're constantly finding it hard to keep ourselves updated with everything that is going on. All right, so make sure to share your thoughts, share your opinions, and also to to let me know what you're thinking as well. All right, and don't actually forget to go like us on Facebook and follow us on our socials, but also don't forget to download our app, right? Because our app is available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and that way you can actually make sure and you can actually make sure that you're listening in from wherever you are in the world, and wherever whatever you're doing, you can actually make sure that you are listening in. All right, now we have another comment that says, oh, that's very true, because it's night over here where I live. All right, and honestly, I know. So the best part about this app is that you can listen in from anywhere you are in the world at any time of the day. All right, this is at night, this is in the morning, regardless of what you're doing, you can actually go do that, and that would be absolutely amazing as well, because I would love to hear what you have to say about the things that we talk about, because Relax Radio is all about you. All right, and now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about this targeted booster program that is supposed to happen. All right, now Francois Ballou, who actually is the director of the UCL Genetics Institute, said that this study will actually provide much needed data. And the truth is, even though we've lived with this virus for almost 2 years now, we still have done very little research in comparison to how much this disease has affected us, right? Because we have this different, it's like almost every week there is this new mutated variant, or there is a new development in COVID-19. So the longer it stays, the more things we're eventually going to find out about it, right? But the thing is, even people's time, people's efforts, those things aren't like, it's not unlimited, right? Obviously, there's only a certain amount of time that you can go on working for until you get really tired and you burn out, right? So that's what's happening as well. Even though we've lived with this virus for so long, we're still finding out new things about it, right? And this is also part of the reason there was a lot of vaccine hesitancy, because we had lived with this virus for such little time, but then we had already found a vaccine, and people were like, oh, you know what, you can't find a vaccine so soon, but vaccines take so long to find. But the truth is, we're the kind of environment that we live in, the kind of society we live in, it's quite developed, right? Things are much, much different than how it used to be back in, say, like the 1950s or something, right? So obviously, dealing with the virus back then versus dealing with the virus now is completely different, simply because how much things have changed all over the world. Right. So obviously, this was also part of the reason why there was, so much of vaccine hesitancy. Right. But to get back into this conversation now, Francois actually said, in the whole context of boosters, he's not actually a big fan of giving boosters to the population, irrespective of age and health. Right. And what he said was he doesn't think it's essential at this stage. Right. And I feel like he sort of reflects the same thoughts of Sir Andrew Pollard as well, because that's what Sir Andrew Pollard said as well. He said, right now, at this point of time, it's not something essential. It's not like you can't survive without a booster. You definitely can, unless you have immunosuppression or immunodeficiency. That's when you can't survive. That's when you really need that booster, right? So something else that he said was that it's actually ethically hard to justify giving boosters to young and healthy people, right? And something he said was, I think providing boosters on the condition on our presence of antibodies is very clever, right? Because when people ask you, why should you get a booster, it's actually very, very reasonable to give boosters to people who do not have sufficient antibodies. All right, so that is what the conversation is about. Now make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to discuss more of this. So until then, make sure you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you, and that's one of the challenges, right?